Yo, people, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another stream. It is the UEFA Champions League, and it is the game week one. It's back, as Charles fan says. Yeah, the Champions League is back. So yeah, be up yourself, Charles fan. Yeah, do smash that like button. Um, Now I got two people in here. Of course, as guys would have seen by the post and by the title, is Steve. How are you?
Hi, mate. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. You?
Yeah, cool, mate. Cool. Not happy about the result the other day, but, we
It is
lost,
what it is.
obviously. First
Yeah,
defeat, but there you go.
and
Things happen,
then
didn't it?
someone that's representing a team in the Champions League is, of course, Manny. Also, finally making the return to the
Oh, Manny,
Champions League. I'm Manny.
Yeah,
you
big
go,
up,
mate.
boys. Big up, big up, big up.
Yeah,
And
cool.
the reason why I'm not really able to show my face is because backstage it looked a little bit foggy. So I
Oh, dear.
decided that I can't really show this. I don't want people to see, my face obscured
Yeah,
in fog. I don't even know why that is because the air conditioning over here isn't on either. But it is what it is. And as long as people know what I look like. Um,
Well, you're in India, Manny. You're in India.
yeah, and
All
it's
right.
quite late in my neck of the woods. It's been raining also for a long period of time, and it's not really the best scenario to be in. But it
Yeah,
is what it is, and I make do with what I possibly can. So always
yeah.
good to be in the company of people, and let's get this stream on the road, shall we?
Yeah, sure. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah, be happy. So have money for joining. Free people in here, so if you want to smash that like button and subscribe button. Um, Now, what better way to start off than AC Milan against Newcastle United? Newcastle United, first time in a long time that they are in the Champions League.
Mm,
AC
yeah.
Milan coming off a 5-1 defeat to their
Mm.
next door neighbours, Inter Milan. How is this one going to play off? Is the big question.
Mm.
Um,
Oh,
I
not
think
easy.
Yeah.
Newcastle first game back. I think they could give Milan some troubles.
Yeah,
Um,
possibly.
yeah. I don't know.
I'm not too sure about that personally. I
No,
mean,
I mean, it's tough, isn't it, for Newcastle? This is their group of death for them, I suppose, really, in a way, isn't it? So they could go down into the Europa Conference, is it? They would go down to? Or Europa League?
Europa League.
Europa League, yeah.
Europa League. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that could be the case here, I'm afraid. I think that might
I think
happen.
they can do better. I think they can give Milan troubles. Um, but yeah. I get what the guys mean.
now, the reason why I say this is because obviously the big headline will be the return of Sandro Tonali to the San Siro, barely months after leaving the Rossoneri to join the Magpies. And he started the season quite well, obviously playing a big role in Newcastle's thumping 5-1 win over Aston Villa. But Newcastle since then have not really
Yeah,
been, firing on all cylinders.
no.
And in as much as I really don't want to upset Mr. B, it took a penalty for them to
Yeah,
beat a Brentford
you're
team, which
right.
will
Yeah.
always be, which will always be trusted to give other teams a run for their money. So Newcastle, let's not forget that this is the same team which contrived to let a 10-man Liverpool team come back to beat them.
Mm,
Darwin Núñez turning, the masked thief, if you will, with two goals, two late
yeah.
goals, it must be said. So if they struggle to beat a team, if they couldn't even beat a team that's not in the Champions League this season, and of course with that team down to 10 men, I can't really give them much hope when they're coming up against a team which obviously has a greater deal of pedigree, which was in the Champions League last year. Of course, they're going to struggle against their biggest rivals. And of course, they lost their biggest rivals um, in the knockout stages en route to Inter Milan reaching the final. But when you take a look at the players that Milan have, even without some of their stars, they're still a more than capable team. And in front of that San Siro crowd, I really don't think Newcastle will be able to, you know, withstand that occasion. So I've
Yeah.
gone actually for a 2-0 Milan win, and that's because I'm being conservative.
Could be a
2-0 Milan.
Yep.
Yep.
Baptism of fire, really, for Newcastle, isn't it? Really, going to that stadium and facing Milan, one of the big giants of Italy. You know, giant teams are not maybe like they were a few years ago, but they're still a big team and still got decent players. So I think it'll be. I'm going to go 2-0 Milan.
I'm going 2-1 Milan. I think they'll struggle a bit against Newcastle. Young boys Leipzig, of course, they are doing all right in the Bundesliga. Not the best. We won't go into depth with this one. Let's just get the table. What they are second? No, third. Third in the Bundesliga. I suspect
All right.
going to back them 2-0. 3-0.
I think
3-0.
I remember going on Kyle's show when we were talking about this as well, and I really can't see anything beyond a Leipzig win. Conservative for me too. I think 2-0. I think without Christopher Nkunku, who ended up going to Chelsea and getting himself injured there. Sorry, Hannah, I had to mention that. Leipzig are still proving that they're more than capable of giving it a good go. They've done magnificently well these past 12 odd months, and of course they're German Cup winners, German Super Cup winners. They've got the bit between their teeth, and can't see beyond them winning.
Yeah. Steve.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a Leipzig win as well, but I think it'd be 3-1. I think young boys might just get a consolation there. I think it'd be 3-1.
3-1. Final Celtic. Manny, I don't know. Do you have anything to tell us maybe about Celtic?
Oh,
If not,
Celtic, of
then
course. Well, here's the thing. I mean, I've got a good mate of mine who's a diehard Celtic fan, and he's told me, obviously, that since Postecoglou left and Brendan Rodgers came back, they're still going to be trusted to win the Scottish League at a canter, but they've had a few injuries, and it's going to be very difficult for them to try and raise themselves. They should do better this time around than they did last time, because it was always going to be difficult for them with Real Madrid and, Leipzig, and I think Shakhtar was in their group as well. That was definitely, a big baptism of fire, getting back to the group stages outright. But I think they're all a year older, they're a year wiser, and against the Feyenoord team, which also hasn't really had much, to crow about over the past few years. Of course, now they're back in the group stages themselves. I think Celtic should edge this 2-1. I don't think it's going to be a very convincing win, but look, a win will be a win.
wow. Upset that, I think.
Yeah.
Me.
No, I said Celtic to win 2-1. Yeah.
Yeah, Celtic 2-1. That's an upset. In my
Wow.
eyes. I think Feyenoord of quality. They won the league last year, I think. I've been PSV. Unsure. But yeah, Steve.
Yeah, I'm going the other way. I'm going final 2-1. Because I think it's going to be close. It's going to be fairly tight. But I just think Feyenoord have got enough to beat Celtic there. So I think it'd be 2-1.
2-1. I've gone 3-0 Feyenoord. Lazio Atletico Madrid. Now Lazio are in a heap of trouble. They're currently sitting 15th in the Serie A. 2 losses in a row. And
Give it a
then
shot.
as for Atletico Madrid, they aren't in the best of form too. They in seventh, but they do have a game in hand in the league. But they have lost one, drawn one, and won two. So
Is Simeone still there? Atletico.
yeah,
He's still
I
there.
believe it.
Mm.
It is still there.
Yeah.
There.
What do you want to go first, Manny, with this one, mate?
Fig,
Um,
you
Lazio and Atletico. I'll keep it short and sweet. Atletico to win. They're in a bit of a decline now, the Spaniards, but as long as they have Simeone and a few of the old guards still there, they should be more than enough for Lazio. It could very well be tight, but 2-1 to the Spaniards for me.
2-1. You know what? Let's go 2-1.
I'm going
2-1.
2-0, by the way. 2-0
2-0
Atletico.
Lazio.
No,
Lazio.
Atletico. Yeah.
Atletico. And now taking place in the Parc de Princes. It's PSG against Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund are currently seventh in the league. They are unbeaten, but they have got two draws. As for PSG,
No Mbappe or
they
anything now. No.
PSG are fifth in the league.
No. Still
Fifth
doing
in the
well.
league. They have drawn two, won two, and lost one. I believe that loss came against Nice or Nantes.
Yes, Nice.
Nice.
Nice
Yeah.
3-2. Nice
And it
were
was
leading.
definitely not a Nice day for PSG.
No.
Yeah, and
Like
Nice were definitely not Nice.
the nice biscuits. Nice biscuit. Yeah.
Uh, but the guys reckon Dortmund have a chance. Of course, currently sit
I think
seventh in the
PSG.
Bundesliga, still unbeaten this season.
I think PSG will win it. I still think they're good enough. They've got enough there. We no Mbappe anymore or anything today, but
Mbappe's still there.
is he still there? I thought he left.
No.
Wasn't he supposed
Neymar
to go?
and Messi left.
Oh, Messi. Yeah, I know Messi went.
Neymar.
Yeah, I think they'll still be enough with Mbappe there. I think 3-0 PSG.
Cool. 3-0.
I'm going to go
Wow.
2-1 to PSG because I'll tell you what, the cracks are starting to form, really. And people are starting to see that Luis Enrique is not really cracked up as cracked up as people might imagine him to be as the manager. He was, of course, the boss of the Spanish team, which completely imploded in the World Cup. Couldn't score a single penalty for Toffee. And, he just doesn't seem to be able to get the team to harmonize together. And why they're still playing Donnarumma ahead of Navas, it will always boggle my mind. I really don't rate the Italian. And I think the Costa Rican has been very hard done by. And the whole Mbappe issue obviously couldn't have done anything good for team harmony. He may still be able to score some goals, but when you have a player like that in his position who seems to be a miscreant, it doesn't really make a good provide a good image for French football. And the fact that Deschamps saw it fit to award him the captaincy, I think he should probably look back on that decision and say, you know what, I completely stuffed up there, as you would say in South Africa, Hannah. But of course, back in England, we say mucked up or whatever. But they're still going to have it. But they're still going to have enough for a Dortmund team that will still be bearing the psychological scars of losing the Bundesliga by the skin of their teeth on the last day of the season. And I think that explains why they still haven't been able to get that thing off their backs and they're still seventh in the Bundesliga. Yes, it's a long league. They could recover. But PSG should have enough at home to beat this team. But it will be tight. I'm going to go for a 2-1 PSG scoreline.
2-1 PSG. Fair enough. I'm going 2-0 PSG. I think they will just have enough now against Dortmund. I think Dortmund will pose a threat, but I think tournament football, that's Enrique's bread and butter. So he should be able to do well. Steve, you said PSG win by
Yeah, I'll stick with the 3-0, Hannah. Stick with that, mate.
3-0.
Mm.
Man City against Red Star Belgrade. City probably will rotate, but I'm expecting them to win this 3-0.
3-0.
I might go more. I'll go 4-0.
4-0.
Yeah.
Money.
I said it, 3-0.
3-0, same as me. Barcelona, Royal Antwerp. Barca are currently second in the league, but I don't think there's much to read into that. Just a draw. They should beat Royal Antwerp comfortably. Let's go 3-0 and Barca. Steve?
I'll go that as well. What you just said, 3-0, mate. Go with that.
Yep, 3-0 for me too.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason to change, but I mean, Barcelona are still managing to get results, but they're doing it the hard way, and they're always going to have that, financial, shadow hanging over them.
Mm.
Shakhtar Porto. Now, Porto, I believe, where are they? The league. I think they are second. Portuguese league. They are currently second. Yeah, second. They just beyond Sporting on goal difference. So they are also still not beaten. Shakhtar, of course, Ukrainian side playing at Hamburg. So great to see the Champions League go back to Hamburg. If you know, Hamburg were quality back in the day in the Champions League. But I suspect I'm back in Porto, 2-1 Porto.
Exactly the same with me. I just think Porto are going to have a lot more about them. And Shakhtar, obviously, you get the impression that football is the last thing on their minds at the moment.
I'm going 3-1, Porto. 3-1.
3-1.
Mm.
Okay. Speaking of 3-1, I'm going 3-1. Galatasaray to beat Copenhagen. Galatasaray have made some brilliant signings this season. I think if they're not top of their league, they're second. I believe they are first. They're second actually, Fenerbahce. Oh, both them were 4-1, so. But I know Galatasaray are strong and they would want to get a few. So yeah, they got Maracade, Mertens. Also got a few other players. Hakim Ziyech, Ndombele, Davinson Sanchez is also there.
A strong team, then, really.
Yeah, they got a strong team in my opinion. And I think they could be somewhat dark horses this year. If they can qualify, maybe ahead of Man United. But yeah, I'm backing them 3-1 Galatasaray.
I'm going 3-0. 3-0. Sorry, Benny.
No, you're right. We got the same predictions, so 3-0.
Yeah.
I can't see where the Danes are going to score, to be honest.
Yeah, 3-0.
Fair enough. Real Madrid unbeaten so far. Just unveiled the stadium. It's finally done. It's going to be a rough night for Union Berlin.
Yeah.
4-0. 4-0 Madrid. It will be a rough one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going
not gonna
5. I'm 5. 5-0. No.
5-0. Jeez.
I'll
Yeah.
go 3. I'll go 3. I mean, most of these predictions of mine are always going to be very conservative predictions. And you know what? Union Berlin also signed the Juventus and Italy legend Leonardo Bonucci, and he's going to find it quite difficult. He will relish coming back to the Bernabeu to play against Real Madrid, but it could very well be that he'll be on a hiding to nothing, as will his team. And yeah, 3-0 for me.
3-0. Now the big clash of on Wednesday night, it's Bayern Munich taking on Manchester
Yeah.
United.
Oh, what a game that'll be. Yeah.
Yeah, Bayern Munich they've gotten over the line, but they haven't been the
No.
best. Thomas Tuchel again playing against Man United,
They're struggling.
they're in all
United.
sorts of trouble.
Mm.
Hurricane against United. I'm going to back in Munich 2-0.
I'm
What do you
going
think?
3-1. Munich.
3-1 Munich.
Mm.
Fair.
I'd say 3-0. I think Bayern are going to rock Manchester United like a hurricane. That great song from the Scorpions. I'm not too sure you're a big fan of that, but you must have heard the song, eh, Steve?
Oh, I have, yeah. Yeah, I've heard it, man. Yeah. Yeah, it could get a hat-trick. How about a hat-trick? You going to think of that? Game or that? Bet on it?
I wouldn't bet on it per se. But I think Kane will definitely have some motivation to do well against Manchester United.
Yeah.
How they could have benefited from signing a guy like him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely. But United are in a lot of trouble. Let's get that straight. Injuries galore. So I don't know. I don't know what will happen with them. But Sevilla lands. Sevilla
I
2-1.
win.
3-0. Steve.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm going 3-0 as well.
I wouldn't be so. I think when I was on Kyle's show, we were doing a Champions League stream. I don't quite remember what my prediction was. It must have been a 2-0 win because, you know, Sevilla
Wait.
Actually,
Sevilla are 17th in a relegation battle.
Yeah.
What about Lens? Where are they? Where are Lens?
17th.
What, Lens?
17th in the league.
Yeah, but I'm going 2-0 to Sevilla. It's going to be conservative. They're slightly depleted as well, don't forget, because they've lost Gonzalo Montiel, who's gone to Nottingham Forest, and he'll be playing tonight alongside a certain Ibrahim Sangare, who, if he had any sense, would be lining up for PSV against Arsenal on Wednesday. But they've also seen their goalkeeper, Bruno, go to Saudi, a real shocker. And I just wonder, as long as they've got Jesus Navas, Campos, and some of the other stars in their team, they could do fine. But, you know, Bono will be a huge miss. And obviously, Sergio Ramos coming back to Sevilla, making his Champions League return with that club will be an occasion to savor. But I just don't know if he will really be up to that task anymore. He might just have one good season in him, and he might call it quits. And it will be interesting. They should have enough to beat Lens, especially on their own home ground, but it's not going to be a very convincing win. I'm going to go 2-0.
2-0. But yeah, speaking of that, also money. The floor is yours.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the deal, as President Joe Biden would say. The only reason why Mikel Arteta made the decision to give David Raya a start ahead of Ramsdale and Kai Havertz,
Because he's a better goalie.
Yeah, but agreed. But sadly, I'm afraid it's because, in my opinion, he will be saving Ramsdale to play in this particular game. And that worries me, really, because even there have been several Ramsdale fans on Twitter who applauded the decision to give Raya a start, saying he was calm and composed and did his job exceptionally well. But the sad part is Arteta will look to Ramsdale to spearhead this campaign in Europe, because apparently he was, of course, the one who backstopped our run to second. Of course, he was also the guy responsible for us, one of the main people responsible for us bottling that league race. But that doesn't really matter to several fans who believe that everything Arteta touches turns to gold. The only problem is it's fool's gold, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And when you got Havertz in your team, the scorer of that Champions League winning goal in the final, you've got to have him as a part of your campaign. It's ridiculous. And that's why I wasn't willing to go overboard about Arteta's willing to change, because we all know that he will back his supposedly tried and trusted players.
Yeah.
I am hopeful that we will see the return of Gabriel Jesus to the starting lineup, and we could also see Jorginho come into this game, because he will certainly be the type of person who could form a good partnership with Declan Rice. So I want to see a 4-2-3-1 with Jesus, the lone striker, Rice and Jorginho as the defensive midfielders. Flat back four, same as the game against Everton, and Odegaard. The only problem is, I mean, Martinelli might not be fit to play, so Trossard has to start. And we don't have adequate cover for... What?
No bad thing, is it? Trossard starts. He's a great player.
Well, I agree. It wouldn't be a bad thing at all. It wouldn't be a bad thing, and he deserves to start. He deserves a lot more respect. The only problem is, though, that I was hoping that if Martinelli could somehow recover in time, because I just don't know the extent of the injury, we could see Martinelli on the left and Trossard on the right, so that Saka could get a rest. But in all likelihood, it means that Saka will end up playing, and if he has to come off, we might end up seeing Fabio Vieira replace him. That wouldn't be necessarily too bad. But again, Odegaard in the number 10 role. That 4-2-3-1 formation was the reason why we were winning so many games at the beginning of last season. And when Jesus got injured, we had to play Eddie Nketiah, and we went back to a 4-3-3, which left our midfield a little bit thinner. So a 4-2-3-1. Zinchenko as a flat left back who doesn't need to invert as much, only when necessary. And Bob's your uncle. And this should be a 2-1 win. I think PSV are going to be slightly weakened without Ibrahim Sangare, who, as I mentioned, is playing tonight for Nottingham Forest. But in Luke de Jong and the other guy, Saibari, who literally put Rangers to the sword, they've got two fine players still. And of course, we played them twice in the Europa League last season. We should know what to expect from them. I think they're going to give us a tough game. So we should win on our return to the Champions League, but it will not be an easy win, I'm sorry to say. 2-1 to the Gunners.
2-1 to the Gunners. Steve, yours?
Yeah, they never do anything easy, Arsenal, let's be honest. And I think, obviously, as Manny just said, I think they're going to probably put Ramsdale in goal and everything. And, because he just rested them for this, hasn't he? I think that's pretty obvious, him and Havertz and whatever. So they'll all come back for this. I'd love to see Trossard given a go here, because especially that goal he got the other day, fantastic goal. He's a quality player. I really do rate him. I would love him at Brentford, but there you go. But anyway, I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal. I'm going 2-0 Arsenal as well. For me, Napoli are currently fifth in the Serie A. But I suspect they should win this. 3-1 Braga to get a goal. You guys?
I think 2-0
Who are Napoli playing?
Braga.
Who? Yeah, I'll go with your scoreline, Hanno. 3-1.
2-0 Napoli for me.
Yeah, Napoli should have another battle. No, wait. You said Braga, right? No, scratch that. I'm going. I'll go for 2-0. I'll take Steve's one. I'm not copying you, Steve. I'm just
No, I know,
changing
mate.
mine.
It's,
Fair.
no worries.
Next game is Real Sociedad Inter 2-1. 2-1 Inter.
Ooh, this could be interesting. The duel between Kieran Tierney and Denzel Dumfries.
Oh, yeah.
Tierney actually played for Sociedad against Madrid at the Bernabeu last night, and actually started off looking really good. But I think, Madrid ended up overpowering him a little bit. But he's growing into the game in Spain, and it's wonderful to see. And I'll be definitely looking forward to seeing how well he does. Although, obviously, if he's playing on the same day as Arsenal are playing, then I can't see him. I just think that Inter will have a little bit more in terms of experience. They've got a new goalkeeper, obviously. The ex-Bayern Munich and Mönchengladbach goalkeeper Jan Sommer has joined them to replace Andre Onana. I think they've also said goodbye to Samir Handanovic. I'm not too sure. And one thing I can definitely say is that Lautaro Martinez still can't, hit a horse's backside with a banjo when it comes to scoring goals. But Inter should still have enough about them to win. It will be tight, though. 2-1 Inter. I agree with your score, Hannah.
2-1 Inter. Steve?
Yep.
I think I'm going to go 1-1 for this one.
1-0.
I think it's going to be a draw.
Okay. And then Benfica Salzburg, Steve.
Benfica's still a good team, aren't they? Really, Portuguese, one of the big teams of Europe. Well, Salzburg doing it. Have they got anyone good there now?
I don't know. Let me check for you.
Whereabouts are they? What sort of form are they on in the league?
So they're first in the Austrian League. They are undefeated. They just got one draw.
And about Benfica? What about Benfica? How are they doing?
Benfica, I think, are third. Yeah, third in the Portuguese league. They are. They won 4 in a row, then lost a game against. Against who did they lose? First game of the season they lost.
Oh, right. I still think it's going to be tight. I'm going to go. I still going to think Benfica will have a bit more. I'll say 2-1 Benfica.
Yeah, Benfica should win this one. Benfica should win this one, but I'll probably go for a 2-0 scoreline for the Portuguese because I just don't see where Salzburg are going to get their goals.
Yeah, that's fair. So, yeah, but that's on that. Be up yourselves for joining as always. But before we end things off, Mr. B, where can people find you?
Yeah, thanks, Hanno, for letting me on here again. Brilliant, thank you. Yeah, I'm Mr. B for Life, Hiver Football Chat. Well, sorry, Mr. B Hiver Football Chat, and it's Mr. B for Life 182, the address there, and also got a lot of content coming out. I'm doing a preview stream with Everton Rose this Wednesday on her channel. Be a recording of that, so that's coming out, and I'm hoping to do a recording of the Brentford's history, which I've been meaning to do for a long time. But I think it's important for people to know our history, about when we were formed, and all through the years of how we come to be where we are now in the Premiership. So I think that's worth doing, and I hope everyone will watch that. And big up to you guys, to Manny and Hanno. Thanks again. And follow these fellas because they're brilliant, So thanks, and come on, you bees.
And now from Mr. B, it's Mr. T. Happy, the fool who doesn't like this channel. I wonder if you were a big fan of the A Team growing up, eh, Steve?
Yeah, I was, mate. I watched it. Yeah, growing up. Yeah, loved
Dirk
it.
Benedict and company. But
Yeah, brilliant.
obviously you can find me here on the Coach's Corner, doing a lot of good stuff with Hanno, whether it's football or cricket. We've also been doing some good work together for the Rugby World Cup. Obviously, Mr. B's not a big fan of what he calls the egg chasing game, but Hanno and I do enjoy it. And you can also catch me on some other channels. Big up as well to Mr. B for joining. I was on his channel for the watch along between Scotland and England, and I'm really interested to see some of your streams on the history of Brentford. I will try and check them out if I can on playback.
Cheers.
But good to see that you are building everything, and I hope things go well for you. And other channels, obviously Del Boy Gunner TV. You can find me, as a panelist. I sometimes co-host that call-in show, of course, and also Oris Talks Football. I will be hopping on his stream in about 5 or 10 minutes from now. Tony Claude Gunner TV, Danny AFC TV, Up the Cherries in all departments, a Bournemouth fan channel. Do please check that out. It's another fun little channel, really quality stuff. I do the cherry picking series with Craig Beasley and the Harrison brothers, Matthew and Samuel, and we record them on Thursdays and they come out on Fridays. So do please check them out, where we have a good chin wag. And also shout out to AFC Talk Show TV, Villa TV, Huddersfield Town Fan TV. I've been on his channel several times for watch-alongs and some discussions. I hope you're doing well, Ryan, and you take care of yourself. Villa TV, I think I mentioned that, and just a few other channels. Also, Kyle Howie, Football Overseas. I've gone on his channel now a couple of times, and a few others who I can't really think of it at the moment, but they're all quite close to my heart. If I need to, I'll send them a check in the post. I always believe in the importance of keeping things respectful when it comes to having discussions. If we can't learn to agree to disagree without being disagreeable, there's no point in having a discussion. So let's keep things respectful, no slandering, no harsh banter, and let's just all have a good time. Treat each other the way we'd like ourselves to be treated. Nothing much else to say. Big up to the chat, Chelsea fan, obviously, and big up to everyone who's also watched this stream. You're the ones who make this video, the stream and Hannah's channel what they are. And enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the Champions League football. If you're watching the Premier League between Forest and Burnley, it's just started. No goals between either side.
Right.
And there'll be some more terrific sporting action to come from the Rugby World Cup as well. And next month, of course, the Cricket World Cup will be taking place. We probably might not be doing any watch-alongs for that, given the time factor, but we will certainly provide some more analysis of the games on the Off the Boundary show. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, enjoy the rest of your week. Don't do anything that Hanno, Steve, or I wouldn't do. And for now, I bid you adieu.
Well said, Manny. Well said.
Yeah, but too. For me, on Instagram, Hanno_coach_corner, Twitter, Hanno70830003, TikTok, Coach101. That is where you can find me. Be up yourselves, people. Champions League is back. We'll see about watch-alongs and stuff like that on Wednesday. Off the Boundary show and Coaches Tactics show. So stay tuned for that. Be up yourselves, people, and we are out.